You know what I love about this particular thing here? Michael Flynn exonerated by Bombshell, DoJ memo exposed during hearing from Zero Hedge. Now, you know what I love about this kind of thing? Because the left likes to say, oh, well, so-and-so, they pled guilty. They've been charged with such and such. Flynn, he pleaded guilty. These are all people who are surrounded by, surrounding Trump. These are bad people, The left loves to say that. What they don't, well, the left politicians know this, but the left American citizens who believe that crap don't know this. People will plead guilty when you're told, we've got some stuff on your wife, your kids, we're going to go after them next. Now, if you're willing to plea deal with us, plea bargain with us, we're going to give you 3 years and blah, 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 blah. And that's the deal. If you don't, we're going after way more than 3 years for you. We're going to go after 14 years, 15 years for you. And we're going to go after your wife for such and such, for filling out a mortgage application incorrectly, and your kids. So what do? Well, as a matter of fact, the economist Martin Armstrong had an interesting story in which James Comey and Preet Bharara both went after him and threw him in jail back in like 2002 or 3. Yes, that Martin Armstrong I talk about sometimes. Gold, silver, cryptos, financial news, housing stuff. And he said he was presented with the same kind of a thing. You can try to fight this and we're going to lock you up for 20 years. Or you can just go with the plea deal. And then the part of the plea deal is you're going to say you were partially responsible for this other little financial crime over here. Even though he wasn't. And he said, well, I'd already served a few years. And if I just agreed, I'd be out in 2 more years or something. You have to read his story. He actually has a documentary video that's out there somewhere. I watched it. And he said, well, so what do you think I did? Get this out of my way. I'm going to take the deal. I personally have a sneaky suspicion when James Comey gets nailed, and he's going to, everything he's done in his law enforcement and lawyer career, DOJ, Attorney General, any district attorney, whatever he was at, they're going to have to go back and look at all the cases. Hey, did you have exculpatory evidence here too? Oh, you did. Oh, and you threatened this guy or girl that you're going to go after their family if they didn't plead guilty. And then Martin Armstrong may have a massive lawsuit on his hands. Guys like him, and how many others? How many other people? So you hear the news, oh, so-and-so was arrested today and charged. They actually pled guilty. And you think because they pleaded guilty, they're actually guilty. We've got an honorable general named Michael Flynn, who's delayed sentencing. Hey, follow what Q's saying. Is he going to get sentenced? I don't think so. What do we find out now? He's not getting sentenced. As a matter of fact, there's a new hearing coming up because the government had exculpatory evidence proving him not guilty, even though he pleaded guilty. What is this? How can this be? The left has been telling us all these people have pleaded guilty because the government has been weaponized. Plead guilty, you're going to get sentenced. It'll be a lighter sentence. Don't plead guilty, and we're going to really rake you over the coals, and we're going to go after your family members. And the guy above me, he's a leftist bought and paid for, political stooge of the left Democrat. The guy above him, same thing. The AG, same thing. This person, same thing. You really want to fight us? You got the funds? You got the ability to fight the U.S. government who has unlimited funding to go after you? They just spent nearly, $40 million on the witch hunt. The FBI, 500 people subpoenaed on. Nothing came of that. You got $40 million? They throw money around, and they're throwing your money around because they can. So what do we have here? Authored by Sarah Carter via sarahacarter.com. A bombshell revelation was barely noticed at National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's hearing Tuesday, when his counsel revealed in court the existence of a Justice Department memo from January 30th, 2017, exonerating Flynn of any collusion with Russia. The memo, which has still not been made available to Flynn's attorney, Sidney Powell, is part of a litany of what was known as Brady material she is demanding from prosecutors. And prosecutors, which is the government, are saying, no, it's classified. We don't want to release it. But it's discovery material that we really need to see. So go ahead and give us the security clearance as the lawyer, so that, or lawyers, so we can look at it. No, we don't want to do that. And it's looking like they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to give it up. And if they give it up and it actually proves, oh my God, he is not guilty. What the hell? Then what? Abuse of power, Comey, Mueller, all these people. What's going to happen? The memo is currently under protective order. And Powell, Sidney Powell, is working with prosecutors to get it disclosed. SarahACarter.com has learned. U.S. District Court Judge Emmett G. Sullivan presided over the hearing Tuesday and set a tentative December 18th sentencing date. He told the prosecution and defense that the sentencing date could be moved depending on the outcome of requests for Brady material requested by Powell and how the case will unfold in the upcoming months. Sullivan also noted during the hearing that the Brady order takes precedence over the plea agreement. Now, what does that mean? Exactly what it says is what it means. Even though he pled guilty, if there's exculpatory evidence, the Brady material, it will take precedence over his plea deal. So if he's found, oh my God, he's not guilty, but you already pleaded guilty, it's too late. No. It will be reversed. Powell will likely seek to have the case dismissed for egregious prosecutorial misconduct in withholding of exculpatory material. America is on the verge of crisis, and Stockman is sponsored by Charles Street Research. No, I saw America's on the verge of crisis. I'm like, oh yeah, this is part of the article. Actually, it's not. It's an ad in the middle, but it looked exactly like it was part of the article. So pardon my French. Powell noted the extraordinary misconduct of the government during the hearing. And I want to ask, I'm going to stop for a second. I want to ask, if the government has been weaponized and used it themselves as a weapon against people who are supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, what happens legally, lawfully, whatever, against those people, those misconductees, if you will, the ones who did this in the government? They just say, oh, you're fired, let go, pension, 20-year pension, go ahead. Yeah. Are they brought up on charges? Are they going to do time in federal prison? This is severe. This is a severe crime. Anyways, Powell noted the extraordinary misconduct of the government during the hearing. She also said that Flynn would have never pleaded guilty if the government had disclosed the Brady materials before the original trial that she is now demanding. There would not have been a plea if the prosecutors had met their Brady obligations, she argued before the court. Powell's discovery of this memo shatters not only the narrative that was published by former Obama administration officials regarding Flynn, but also the ongoing narrative that President Donald Trump's concern over Flynn's prosecution amounted to alleged obstruction. So imagine that. Donald Trump's concern over Flynn's prosecution, he's obstructing. The president's now obstructing. The president knows there's exculpatory evidence in which his client, his administration official at this point, not his client, his friend and slash administration official Flynn, he's not guilty. But the left says, no, this is a him, not collusion, but obstruction. No. He's trying to get to the truth. And as the old saying goes, and the truth shall set you free. The January 2017 timeline of the DoJ memo is extremely significant. Former FBI Director James Comey said in previous interviews that he leaked his memos through a friend to be published in the New York Times with the hope of getting a special counsel appointed to investigate Trump for obstruction. In late August, Inspector General Michael Horowitz released his much-anticipated report on Comey. It was scathing and revealed that he violated FBI policy when he leaked his memos that described his private conversations with Trump. However, the DOJ declined to prosecute Comey on Horowitz's referral. Why? Because QAnon has told us. Are there bigger slam dunk charges coming? That was one of the last things Q posted on August 1st, by the way. But the existence of such a memo calls into question Comey's actions, both when he met with Trump privately and when he wrote his personal memos recanting the meetings. If the January 30th, 2017 DOJ Flynn memo does exonerate Flynn, then it will call into question Comey's actions when he had the private meetings with Trump. Why didn't Comey reveal to Trump that DOJ found no evidence that Flynn was an agent of Russia when he met Trump at the White House on February 14th during that meeting? Why were the stories about Flynn, along with the classified information regarding his phone conversations with the former Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak, leaked to the Washington Post in January, with a follow-up in early February? Remember, the information was leaked by senior government officials, according to the author and columnist Dave Ignatius. Ignatius said the senior officials accused Flynn of violating the Logan Act. Even worse, conspiring with Russia. Further, new information that former FBI Director Andrew McCabe, oh, you know he's going down, by the way, advised that there was no Logan Act violation, along with the DOJ internal memo of January 30th that Flynn was not an agent of Russia, was enough information for Comey to advise the president that Flynn had been cleared of any wrongdoing. Instead, Comey claimed obstruction of justice by the president. Comey's memo versus the DOJ January 2017 Flynn memo. Comey said in one of his most significant memos chronicling his February 14, 2017 meeting at the Oval Office with Trump, which was the day after Trump had fired Flynn, that Trump asked everyone but Comey to leave the room and told him he wanted to talk about Mike Flynn. Flynn was fired at the time over controversy that arose from a classified information leaked to the Washington Post regarding his conversations by phone in December 2016 with former Russian ambassador Sergei Kislyak. The story stated that Flynn had discussed the sanctions with him. However, Comey later admitted that the FBI agents he sent to interview Flynn didn't believe he was lying about his conversation with the former ambassador. According to Comey's memo, Trump said, quote, "I hope you can see your way clear to letting this go, to letting Flynn go. He's a good guy. I hope you can let this go." Comey suggested that Trump's request was inappropriate, accusing him of obstructing justice by asking him to drop Flynn's case. He used this as a pretense to leak his memos and put the nation through more than 2 years of Robert Mueller's special counsel, which in the end found no evidence of conspiracy with Russia. As for obstruction, Attorney General William Barr and then Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein concluded that there was no obstruction based on the evidence gathered by Mueller's team. However, if Comey would have advised Trump of the January 30th memo, it would have cleared up any unfounded lies that Flynn had in any way colluded or conspired with Russia. If and when this memo was made public, and I gotta be fair with you guys, I'm pretty sure it's going to be, the ongoing narrative continuing to be pushed by those former Obama officials, as well as House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, who continues to push for hearings on obstruction, will be squashed. It looks like Comey, who would have been fully aware of this memo, has a lot of explaining to do. I'm telling you people, as I have been for the last 2 years, people are actually going to get in trouble for once. high-level government officials, you are going to see them get in trouble for once. You'll never believe it until it happens, and I don't blame you. But I feel very, very confident. As Q has said, slam dunk charges are coming, and it won't just be Comey. McCabe's going to be in trouble and a whole bunch of others. Take care.